Hello all. In this video, we will see one of the important note that we need to do while implementing Redwood sales and custom objects in CX. So the important note is whenever we create a new project, so we should create a project with a specific extension ID. So extension ID where it will come. So let's say you created a project and as part of initial setup, so you will create a new extension ID here. I mean, new application extension. So this is only one time setup. So later you will need to clone the clone from Git. So for first time, we will be creating the extension ID and the Git repository. So let's say you gave something like Redwood sales as your extension name. Okay, and you will need to select the environment. Okay, and here you will give the repository name, something like this is the repository, right? Something like this. We are giving, and you can give for as per initial branch. So you can give the start branch first. Maybe give it as an initial branch. Okay, now so now you can see the extension ID. The important part here is extension ID. So with based on the extension name we give, it defaults site underscore Redwood sales, and it creates a Git repository, and it associates this extension ID. Right. So this is how so so we create as part of first creation. When it comes to Redwood sales, the extension ID, this will not work for some of the components. Especially we have fragments, CX fragments. Some of the fragments will work only on this extension ID. So if the extension ID is different, so those components will not work. So to make sure those components and custom objects that are created using extension generator will also refer this particular extension ID. So if you go to the documentation on how to create an application extension for custom object, so it is mentioned the extension ID here. So this site CX sales extension ID. So you will need to create. So if you go to the documentation, so you can find out this extension ID, site CX sales extension ID. So this needs to be here as part of initial setup, okay, as part of the existing extension. So if it is not created, if it is not created, so then we need to change. So to see the extension ID, so the simple option is if you go to any of the workspace, and if you click on this menu, and if you go to settings, from settings you can see the extension ID here, site CX sales extension ID. So that's the extension ID we are seeing. So this is not correct, right? So even if we create a brand new project initially from the edit page, and if we allow to create project in the repository, everything used by the system, so still the site extension ID will not be this extension ID. Okay, so it will just create as site CX extension, something like this. Okay, so we need to change this, and at any time with one ID, so there will be only one extension. So with the same name, you can't create. Since there is already an existing extension ID available with the same ID, so I'm showing in this example with a different ID. But so in your process, or in your actual Redwood sales implementation, so you need to keep this ID, and then you need to proceed with the rest of the changes. Let's say I added just one here. Now I need to publish these changes. So I'll click on publish. So this is one option. So now I'll go to the build jobs. Let me, so we will need to check the the username and password are also added correctly. I have modified the authentication, and now we'll wait for the jobs to run. So now the publish is successful. And now if we go to the workspace, and if we check again the extension ID, and we can see the updated extension ID. Okay, so there's the extension ID we published. So this is one way coming to more options menu and changing extension ID and publishing.